Hi, everybody. I hope you're all well. I think it was only yesterday that I told you I hate wind, and lo and behold, the wind is blowing today. No, howling would better describe it, meaning that I have hay fever and a headache, and as usual, I can't stay focused on anything. The wind does that to me for some reason, and it's absolutely awful. Anyway, while the BRICS summit is taking place here in South Africa, and I'm trying to figure out what exactly is being achieved, let's talk random shit about the Royals and the Montecito Hawkles if we do get to them today, because I'm not planning anything. Because goodness knows the topics, be it about the BRICS summit or the Royals, are equally frustrating, and the headlines and clickbait titles from people who clearly know jack shit about either is driving me insane. Honestly, some of the people, and I'm not going to name names, who recently joined the Mexit creators with a second channel dedicated to the Hawkles and who can't even read an article correctly is really driving me insane. Good golly, it would be like me suddenly making videos on V8 engines and restoring old cars, stuff I know nothing about. But I could post nice pictures and read to you from old magazines and manuals. I mean, why not? Anyway, I have been binge watching River for the last few days because I've not watched him in a long, long time. And I can't tell you how relaxing and entertaining I found it. Like River, I love old stuff and bling. But I seldom, very seldom, get the opportunity to go to charity shops, etc., as we don't really have those things here in my area. That is one thing which provided me hours and hours of entertainment in Canada. Maybe once we've moved and settled in, I'll start going to auctions again from time to time. Maybe become this eccentric old lady covered in bling and silk, like I've always wanted to be. Anyway, royals. Let's do the daily royal thing. A few of you asked me whether I heard that the police decided not to take further action over the Cash for Honours scandal. Yes, I heard, and yes, shall I say it? Shall I say, I told you so? Because I told you so. Why won't and can't they take action? Well, because it is 100% BS that the now king was unaware of what was happening. He knew, and he had been involved in such deals since the 70s. I have proven it to you over and over and over, and it is common knowledge. And the only people still denying it are the sycophants. We all know that the monarch is exempt from prosecution. So how can they prosecute Fawcett if he purely acted on behalf of his boss or principal? Secondly, Fawcett wasn't the first or the only one. So yes, there goes that. None is blind as those who do not wish to see. While we are on the subject, though, I quickly want to explain something, as I have received so many email about it in the past. People are saying it is normal practice for one hand to wash another. Contributors are often rewarded with something, be it a dinner or a ball at the end of the year, or an award, or a small gift, or thank you card, etc., etc. Well, that is indeed true, very, very true. But giving someone citizenship or an honor or even a title in order to facilitate permanent residence is as good as allowing someone to buy permanent residence or citizenship, which is indeed illegal. It is illegal in every country on earth. And basically, that is exactly what happened in the case of Mohammed bin Mahfouz. And just by the way, those comments about all the money went to charity, yes, it went directly to the Prince's Trust and the Prince's Foundation. And then to charity, no, not quite. No, it didn't. Because most of it went to Dumfries House and the Castle of May, which are now both fully fledged businesses. And you guys can go look that up on Dear Dr. Google. They are. They are being run on pure business principles. Anyway, moving on. One of my regular gossipers told me yesterday that there is talk of Archie going to Invictus with mom and dad. Oy vey, I don't know, you guys. This person has been right a number of times, but I'm not so sure about this one. I think this may be the Markleness throwing things out there just to keep the conversation going. I honestly cannot see Megan taking the child to an event with loads of cameras and having them take more photographs of the child than of her. No, I can't see that happening, but we never know. We'll see. Only a few more days to go. Anyway, before I go, I'm going to do something I don't often do, although it is not completely unheard of on this channel either, and that is to comment on another video. So I watched a clip on GB News with Dan Wootton, Lady C, Phil Dampier, and although there is absolutely nothing to criticize in the video, I would like to give my 5 cents worth, if you will permit me to. In the first segment, they talk about the Times article titled King Charles' First Year on the Throne, Was It a Success? It basically states that Charles sees himself as interim king and that he accepts that William will be the real change maker. Now, I agree with Dan and Phil Dampier that it is a rather odd thing to put out, particularly at this point, only 1 year into King Charles's reign. Now, I also understand Lady C's point of view, namely that it is fact that his reign would not be anywhere near or close to as long as his mother's. But I have a slightly different take on that. Look, I understand it had been a hard year for the monarchy and for the family. Some hard decisions and changes had to be made and executed while a family was still mourning the loss of a larger than life character, a mother and grandmother. And I honestly grant Charles and everyone else the empathy and compassion, and I understand that not only must it have been very, very hard, but it must also have been time consuming to get everything and everybody back into place and the cogs of the wheel turning smoothly again. But there are many things I do not understand about King Charles's reign so far. I expected more. I expected different. I expected him to say or do something maybe even a little controversial. I expected him to at least try to be a king of the people, albeit a bit of a woke one maybe. But instead, what we saw until now was a lot of nothing. Yes, he had the beautiful, pristine lawn at Sandringham, which is the private estate, dug up to make way for a climate-friendly garden. Bear in mind how proud Queen Elizabeth was of her lawns at her various homesteads and palaces, even joking that Donald Trump's helicopter ruined her lawn at Buckingham Palace. Asked once whether she enjoyed a garden party, she said, "Would you if people were trampling over your garden?" Charles also made significant changes at Balmoral, doubling the tourist season, having a maze built and starting other ventures like a market, a game drive, and an outdoor theatre, etc. He has also made significant changes to the inside of Windsor Castle, moving furnishings around, moving out some furnishings, moving in other furnishings, and even artworks and so on. He kicked Angela Kelly out of her cottage at Windsor. He received a few foreign dignitaries and took a trip to Germany. But it all seems so lackluster, so low energy, and more self indulgent than aimed at the greater good. So for me, these remarks are almost fitting to a man who is just biding his time until the time is right for his son to take over. So I guess in my mind, I wonder why he even bothered at all. Why didn't he just abdicate and allowed his son to carry on? It is not a pleasure seeing the new king throwing fits over leaking pens, carriages being late or early, and his 76-year-old wife lagging behind because she's having a chat. No, I think when the heat in the kitchen gets to you, you get out, whether you are the cook or the king. So yes, like Phil Dampier, I'm wondering whether comments such as that in the Times are preparing the ground for maybe an abdication or maybe early retirement. I think that those who are saying they should give William and his family the opportunity to raise those children first actually forget that Charles and Anne were only 4 and 2 years old when the Queen was crowned in 1952, and both Andrew and Edward were born after her coronation. Andrew in 1960 and Edward in 1964. So why should the ages of the children determine whether William should become king or not? Anyway, guys, I think I've been babbling away, and hopefully the wind will die down tomorrow and my brain will start functioning again. So, until then, please take good care of yourselves. Bye.